All Shook Up is a musical about love.
This roustabout, this rebel, comes into town on his motorbike.
It's about a town that is really sleepy and kind of depressed until this stranger comes into town and shakes everything up.
He ignites their jukebox and all of the passion, and everybody's falling in love with everybody, and
he's in love with this girl who's in love with me, who's dressed up as a boy, so then just all hell breaks loose.
Anybody's familiar with an old Elvis Presley movie called Roustabout? It's loosely based on that with a little bit of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night thrown in.
And then having the fun Elvis 50s music really brings that to life. So Chad is a stranger who comes into town. The homage to Elvis in this show.
I've always wanted somebody like Chad. I've always wanted a rebel. I've wanted something different because I'm kind of the most different one in the town.
I actually don't really notice her at first. I keep getting her name wrong. She's just a person in the town.
I'm a mechanic. I'm kind of a tomboy. I'm immediately in love with him.
She cons me into thinking she's something else.
So I get the idea from my best friend Dennis to dress up as a boy because I'd have a better chance of hanging out with him. After a while I kiss him, and then he starts going after Ed.
He ends up falling for a woman dressed as a man, which is very interesting, and it kind of shakes him up.
Sylvia is a really bottled up, very guarded woman who owns Sylvia's Honky Tonk, which is basically the local bar. Jim and Sylvia have been friends for 20 years, but it becomes a little something more when Chad comes on and he's preaching to everybody that everybody can love. Love is possible no matter how long you haven't been in love.
it's about the power of music and love and being who you are, being true to yourself.
Chad bridges the divide between the African American community and the white community in this town and brings them together like Elvis did himself.
I'm obsessed with Elvis. He's the screensaver on my phone. Yes.
With Shakespeare, he appealed to the whole gamut from like the poor people, the teenagers, the older folks. And if you ever been to an Elvis concert or watched one on TV, you have an 8-year-old girl crying when he's on stage, and her teenage sister is crying, and her mother's crying, and her grandmother's crying.
We have our kings of our time.
He's released so many songs. There's so many different stories of his to choose from.
They speak to us on this archetypal level. You know, what is love? What is loss? What is longing? And the music of Elvis is so universal in that way.
So mixing the two is so fun, and it works out so well. And the arrangements of the Elvis songs that we're doing are crazy awesome, like amazing.
We're doing kind of a class system thing. You know, there's the working class and then there's the upper class.
Politics, interracial segregation, gay relationships, you name it, it runs the gamut.
You know, the 50s were all about the front that you would put up, and it's challenging that.
When the audience leaves, I want them to be excited and happy.
That's what the theater is for, to just stop stressing.
Right now we're in a time where we are getting very buttoned up again. We're getting we're getting away from sexuality and embracing sexuality and almost too PC, so we're not, and that's taking away a level of tolerance.
I want them to take away the fact that people who are different, who are so themselves in history, are the ones who make the best changes, and maybe to go out there and fall in love.
Come see All Shook Up. It's really crazy, and I dress up as a boy, and there's lots of kissing and Elvis. Yep.